Hi. Hold on. Oh, shoot. Let me put this in. All right. Hi, everyone. I'm Christine. Today I'm going to read Beauty and the Beast. This is one of my favorite stories. Okay. Once upon a time, there lived a beautiful young girl named Belle. She loved to read and could often be seen wandering through the village with a book. Belle lived with her father, Maurice, who was an inventor. One day Maurice went to a fair. On the way home, a bad storm broke out and he took shelter inside a dark castle. But the master of the castle was an angry beast, and once he discovered Maurice, he would not let him leave. Belle searched for her father when he didn't return home. She soon came to the castle and went inside. "Hello? Is anyone there?" she called as she walked through the hallways. A wooden mantel clock and a fancy candle drum were sitting on one of the tables. Belle didn't see him, but they noticed her. "It's a girl," cried Lumery, as Candlerum, once Belle had passed. He jumped to the floor. "She's the one, the girl we've been waiting for. She's come to break the spell." Many years earlier, Lumery and Cogsworth, the clock, had been human, along with lots of other objects in the castle. But their master, the prince, and his castle had been put under a spell. The servants had been changed into enchanted objects, such as the clock and the candle drum, while the prince had been turned into an awful beast. The spell could only be broken if, by his 21st year, the beast fell in love with the girl who loved him in return. Lumery and Cogsworth followed Belle. Before long, she came to the dungeon where her father was locked up. "Papa!" she exclaimed. She knelt down to touch his hand. "You must go," Maurice cried, but it was already too late. The beast had entered the room. Belle was not afraid, though. "I've come for my father. Please let him out," she said sternly. "He's my prisoner," the beast growled. "Take me instead," Belle offered. "You would take his place?" the beast asked, astonished. Belle agreed, and the beast dragged Maurice from his cell and sent him away. On his way back to the dungeon, Lumery suggested that his master find Belle a more comfortable place to stay than the cold, dark cell. There's Belle and her father. The beast was not hard-hearted, though his manners were rough and his temper terrible. When he saw Belle sobbing, he softened. "Follow me," he demanded, and led her to a much nicer room. "Dinner," Lumery whispered in Belle's ear. "Invite her to dinner." "You will join me for dinner," the beast commanded before he slammed the door shut. Soon some of the servants stopped by to introduce themselves. Miss Potts, the teapot, and her son Chip, the teacup, offered Belle a spot of tea. She was surprised that the servants were enchanted objects, but she liked them all at once. They couldn't convince her to go to dinner, though. Cogsworth finally broke the bad news to the beast. "She's not coming," he said. The beast went to Belle's room and pounded on the door. "I thought I told you to come down to dinner," he growled. "I'm not hungry," Belle replied. "Please," Cogsworth quietly urged the beast. "Attempt to be a gentleman." "It would give me great pleasure if you would join me for dinner," the beast managed. But Belle still said no. She would not eat with the creature who was holding her captive. The beast stormed off. "If she doesn't eat with me, she doesn't eat at all," he roared. Later that night, Belle sneaked out of her room and tiptoed downstairs. That's Belle. She went to the kitchen. A strange sight met her eyes. All the dishes The pots and pans, the stove, and the silverware were alive, just like the other objects she'd met. They had been upset when she'd refused to come to dinner because they were eager to impress her. They were never guests at the castle anymore. "I'm a little hungry," Belle admitted. "You are?" asked Miss Potts, who had been the castle cook. "Wake the china! I'm about to let the poor child I'm not about to let the poor child go hungry." Belle had been hoping for a bite to eat. Instead, she got a full-blown feast. Beef and cheese, pie and pudding. Belle had never had such a meal. Her new friends treated her like a princess. After dinner, Belle wanted to explore. "It's my first time in an enchanted castle," she told the servants. Cogsworth and Luminaire led her around, showing her paintings, tapestries, and armor. There is the enchanted servants putting on a show for Belle. "What's up there?" Belle asked. Why, they came to a very long staircase. It was a west wing, and everyone was forbidden to go there. Cogsworth and Luminaire tried to lead Belle in another direction, but she slipped by them and climbed the steps. Behind the door at the top was a wreck of a room. Furniture was torn apart. A painting of a handsome prince was ripped down the middle. The only thing intact was a single rose under glass, and even its petals had started to fall off. Once the last petal fell from the rose, the spell over the castle could never be broken. But Belle didn't know about the spell. Suddenly, the beast's shadow fell over her. "Get out!" he yelled, and started to smash things. Belle ran down the stairs, past Luminaire and Cogsworth. "Promise or no promise," she cried. "I can't stay here another minute." She dashed out the front door, grabbed her horse, and rode into the dark forest. But the forest was not safe. It was full of wolves. They chased her. She tried to hold them back with a stick, but they snapped in two. Suddenly the beast appeared. He growled at the wolves and tossed them right and left. They bit his neck and clawed at his fur, but he managed to fight them off. At last the wolves ran away. Ooh. Before then, there's his rose. There's him getting mad at her. Since the beast had gotten hurt while protecting her, Belle didn't feel right about leaving. She took him back to the castle and nursed his wounds. "Thanks for saving my life," she said. Day by day, Beast and Belle got to know each other better. They ate together, they played in the snow together. One day, the beast shared his library with her. She had never seen so many books, and one evening they danced together. The servants were overjoyed. They could tell that Beast was falling in love with Belle, and Belle with the beast. But Belle was very concerned about her father's health. She wanted to go see him. Because the beast loved her, he decided to let her go, even though it meant he wouldn't be able to break the spell. With a last glance toward the beast, Belle left the castle and went to her father. There he is. And Belle, beautiful Belle. When the villagers heard that the beast had captured Belle, they attacked the castle, even though she told them how nice he'd been. Luminaire and Cogsworth came up with a plan to defend the castle. When the villagers stormed inside, some of the enchanted furniture fell on them. Teacups poured scalding tea on their heads, cabinet doors flew open and knocked people down, and knives and forks soared through the air. The villagers ran out of the gates, screaming. But during the fighting, the beast had been badly hurt. Belle returned to the castle to find him wounded and dying. "Beast!" she cried, kneeling beside him. "Belle," he said, gasping. "You came back." He was weak, though, and his eyes soon closed. "Please don't leave me," Belle sobbed. Then, just in time, she added 3 magic words. "I love you." Tiny comets showered down on the beast. As Belle watched, the beast's claws became hands and his fur changed to human skin. He became the prince he once had been, now that Belle had broken the spell. "Belle, it's me," he said. She looked deep into his eyes. "It is you," she cried happily. Cogsworth, Luminaire, Miss Potts, Chip, and all the other servants returned to their human forms too. Belle leaned in and kissed her prince. "Are they going to live happily ever after, Mama?" Chip asked. "Of course, dear," Miss Potts said with a happy sigh. "Of course." Turned into a prince. And that is it. I'm sorry earlier that my sewing machine messed up with my sew. I think I'm going to do it on my own and then figure that out and then show you guys the end result whenever I figure that out. So it's just kind of a little frustrating when it doesn't work and I get all flustered.